I guess we are live.
We're
I
live.
Oh, wonderful. So, welcome everybody to this night to the ESA Marathon Corona Relief 2020. I'm kalarse. And I could carry on the list on how poorly my nickname is pronunciated. But that would take all night. And I'm joined by Morg, who is gonna help me out with this wonderful game called Disney's Aladdin. How are you?
Disney's Aladdin. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody.
Or how we like to call in our community, Disney's Reset.
That's right.
So I'm in the options menu because I don't want to spoil the fun because this is a wonderful game. And I don't know if we are ahead or behind, so I do not want to go for any jokes. Which I have one question while I go to the main menu is I like DKC, so which is your favorite animal buddy?
Favorite animal buddy?
In
Ooh,
DKC.
it's got. Oh, in DKC, the swordfish or the swordfish, right?
Ward.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's a good option. I rather prefer Winky, but Winky is the frog.
Okay. All right.
So
Fair
okay,
enough.
unfortunately my game was already spoiled the bad music for all. So since we are gonna tackle on this, we're gonna start a countdown, and since there's not much difference except the screen ratio, we're gonna start, and then any difference we're gonna carry on. So everyone's ready?
Let's do it.
So okay, let me just focus on here. So 3, 2, 1, go!
All right. So we are in Aladdin. We were playing the GBA version. I run the NES version primarily, but the GBA is quite similar. There is a different level in every world, one extra level rather, but for the most part, the game is almost exactly the same. Minus you get a little bit less real estate to work with on the smaller screen.
Oh yeah.
You'll see right away at the very beginning he grabbed the cape, the cloth, the rag, whatever you want to call it, and you'll see he's doing a strategy we call cape mashing, cape pumping, whatever you want to call it. It's very similar to arm pumping in Super Metroid, if you're familiar with that, where Samus's arm moves up and down. You gain a pixel every time you do that. In this, it's the same idea. Every time you release the cape, Aladdin moves forward 2 pixels, or essentially 1 frame of movement. And so we want to do that about as much as we can. So almost every jump you'll see Kalarse here, he'll be doing that. About every time he's in the air, he'll be cape pumping here.
Yeah, unfortunately I took damage, so for the sake of my fellow Brazilian community friends, I'm gonna take the bread that they nicknamed me the Kalarse bread. I don't know why.
The safety bread.
Yeah, it before was called the bread of shame, but apparently in Brazil is named after me. So
Well, I think in Brazil there's also a turkey or chicken of shame in
Yeah.
in the level 5, so that's coming up.
fortunately, I don't grab that one. So this is the extra stage. At beginning, I just count 4 small jumps to hit the big guys, and then try to hit this other one. I'm gonna have to take the apple refill because I'm low on apples, and they are in handy because that's the main difference between GBA and SNES. Apple root and gem root. The apple root
Yeah.
is pretty much solved, fortunately. The gem one, unfortunately, no. And I'm working on that. I've been too lazy. But hey, a boss!
So we have our first boss fight of the game. This poor apple vendor who just trying to defend his cart, but here we are. Just trying to beat him down. So you'll cancel his sword animation by throwing apples at him. Makes it a lot faster and more consistent as well. Kind of stopping his fighting animation towards you.
Oh yeah, fortunately. So now, as we know for the movie, we're gonna go to the caverns. We're gonna retreat try to retreat the magic lamp, but these caverns are a bit different.
They're a bit scary. We'll have some logs floating on water that we have to worry about, and scorpions and bats.
Okay.
All sorts of fun stuff.
Yeah, I just messed up a little bit. The damage boost. I stopped my momentum too early, so I had to do it again, but no worries.
Damage boosting is very similar in this game to a lot of games. It pushes you backwards, so it's a lot of the same idea that you'll find in a lot of different games where you want to, right before you take the damage, turn around and it'll push you the direction that you're trying to move.
Yeah.
So you can gain some extra time by doing that.
Yeah, and unfortunately the Scorpion was not nice with me. The last Scorpion actually is RNG. Depends. It's weird where he's gonna get. So the position it was the worst. So
yeah, that little section's very scary and actually some very precise jumps. And this is a new stage that I won't be as familiar with.
yeah, this stage is like, from all the extra ones, is the scariest because it has the smaller screen does not help in actually knowing what's below. And the best way to do this is actually, oh, I didn't hit the bat, so I had to take a safety. But since the screen is smaller resolution and you go too up in the air, basically you do not see what's downward. So basically you're jumping out to your death if you do not know what you're doing.
A lot of blind jumps in that stage.
Oh yeah.
Here we'll see a pretty cool trick, log skip. There you go.
Yeah, the first one is free, even though the visual cue is different from the SNES. The muscle memory is the same. So, but the second one, unfortunately, I'm not consistent, so it's Kaizo. So, I'm not gonna go for it.
Yeah, the second log skip is really tough. It is no shame in not going for it.
Abu, no. Infi Falls. Yeah, they changed that.
Our favorite kleptomaniac monkey taking the gem.
Oh yeah, and now the favorite part on every game and every speedrun, auto scroller. So
the auto scroller.
And
thankfully, in these auto scrollers, they give us something to do. We still need to gather a lot of gems, and so you'll see throughout actually 2 auto scrollers that he's gonna have to play through. He'll be grabbing a good amount of gems.
Yeah, and the main difference between GBA and SNES is that on SNES we can set up Jafar's RNG with taking a intentional death here. Unfortunately, that doesn't work. So we're gonna have like a 3-minute auto scroller. So if we have any donations, this is the perfect time.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, thank you very much. We have a couple of donations. We have a $10 donation from Nico. That's a lot of eyes in there. The helmet made me donate. Good job, sir. That was a leftover from Polo's amazing run before. Thank you very much. We have a $5 donation from Lonos, no comment. Thank you very much. And we have a $5 donation from Iguana, who says, "Let's go, Gabby." Shout outs from the Uruguayan speedrunning community. Proud of you, dude. Thank you very much for your generous donations.
Yo, Iguana, that's an awesome friend, fellow speedrunner, fellow Smash player, loves all gaming. He's a good friend. Thank you for the donation, Iguana. Really appreciate it. And here we're just burning time because, well, after grabbing the 100 gen, we got a life refill. Unfortunately, I took an extra damage there. That's not intentional, but we have a way to recover. Don't worry.
We'll have ways to recover that. And then you probably saw just about a minute ago, as he hit 100 gems, it gave him a health refill and also an extra heart of life. And that's going to be really important. We're going to want to get those health refills, especially in specific places toward the last boss, things of that nature, to well, have the extra health so we can do some intentional damage boosting.
And here's where I said that the apple route was pretty much solved, because they gave us here an extra auto-scroller, but fortunately an extra pot with apples. So there we go.
Free apple.
Hell yeah.
Can't complain about that.
So, but unfortunately, they added another minute-long auto-scroller. So if we have any donations, please keep them over because
Here we go.
we have time.
Absolutely. We have a $150 donation from
Wow.
Buffalo Man.
Holy.
With no comment, but thank you so very much for the generous donation.
That's awesome.
That's very awesome indeed.
So is there any extra movement that you have to learn for the second auto scroller? Or is it all pretty much the same? Anything crazy or hard in this one?
No, just don't take damage and don't die.
That's right. And here is the stage that killed all of us as a elementary school kid or whenever this came out for you. The final tunnel.
Oh yeah. Fortunately, in GBA version is the same as SNES. You just stay on this spot, memorize where the ups and downs are, and you're good. The only thing when you're not doing this on a marathon is don't read chat. It has killed numerous of runs.
Yeah, don't read chat during this. It's fairly automatic once you learn the pattern, but it's very stressful all the same.
Yeah. So speaking of don't read chat, I don't have chat open. I'm not sure what's gonna happen, but I want to watch the replay and I want to see all the dance game for this awful music.
Yeah, the music change in the GBA is unfortunate.
Yeah, that's a way to put it, being good and family friendly. So my theory is that they didn't get the rights, so basically they had to make music from scratch. So yeah, it hurt a lot. So now we're back to our normal SNES. I don't know why I threw the apple. Basically, that was SNES muscle memory because
Muscle memory, yeah.
we do not need to pick the apples because I just got them from the auto scroller. So and
Yeah, normally in the SNES version, you'll pick up your extra apples right there. So that was just a little muscle memory. And then here we have Genie dropping platforms for you. This is set. This is a set pattern when you have 2 lives,
Yeah.
but has some scary moments as well.
yeah, you could go for a skip on the last one, but for marathon safety and me being nervous, I'd rather just not go for it. But you could go for a skip that saves about a second, and you skip the last cycle, so that's good to know. And it's not hard, it's just that it's just scary.
It is a scary jump, absolutely. It's fairly precise, and the platform is a cloud, so it moves up and down. So you have to catch it at the right moment.
Yeah.
Another thing you'll see him doing throughout this run. Oh, that's okay. Just missed the jump there.
Yeah.
Not a super costly death. That is another thing of this game is the deaths aren't too costly. They just push you back to the beginning of the stage, but
yeah, that's that's the
you're still
only
gonna keep your cape. You still
Yeah.
gotta keep your hearts.
Yeah, as long as you don't game over, you're fine. And basically, the only bad thing about Aladdin in general is that there are only about 2 stages, I'd say, that has checkpoints. The next one is one of them, so that's the only bad thing. But being a short game, it's just and this is not what you want to see because global cycle.
Yeah, global cycle, and here you'll see we're jumping around on some genie tongues. But yeah, if you miss the cycle here, it's really awkward if you miss it. It just feels weird to get back onto it.
Yeah, I mean, you could go along missing one jump, but missing a jump and falling off the platform, like it happened there, is just too costly.
It's hard to recover from something like that, but you did well. And then we're on to these falling platforms here.
Okay, first RNG jump. Okay, not the second.
Got 1 or 2, that's not bad. those jumps are really strange. Aladdin's jump height seems fairly random sometimes, and sometimes you make those jumps onto those platforms, and sometimes you don't. And I believe we've looked into it, and I don't think there's much we can do about it.
Yeah, and from what I remember, is sub-pixel dependent, and since this is an actual remake of the original one, just bearing the extra stages, it's the same. Nothing we
Same
can
mechanics. Yeah, yeah.
do. And now for the favorite part, the Detour. That's not featured in the movie, so DLC, guys, for those that watch the movie.
The DLC portion, probably some of the scariest stages, or maybe hardest to optimize is maybe more accurate. There's this moving sand that can kind of push you forward or back, so you obviously want to move on the forward moving sand as much as possible. A lot of spikes, a lot of enemies to jump around. Yeah, just a lot happening in these stages.
Yeah.
And some blind jumps in the GBA version, it looks like.
Fortunately, not so many on this stage, but I mean the blind jumps are much more manageable. Just here we have to take a little bit of slowdown because your position manips on how the archer throws the arrows. So basically I wanted the last one to throw horizontally instead of upwards, so I can jump over him. Okay, here damage, that's fine. At least I have more hearts than the actual SNES version, so I do not need to grab the chicken refill.
The chicken of shame. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Don't have to worry about it. So we will take some intentional damage coming up here in the fourth stage of this level. It's a lot of spikes on the floor, and well, it's faster to just run across them.
Yeah, those up and down things are just too slow, not reliable. So.
Yeah, anytime Aladdin grabs a ledge or a hook or anything like that, it's fairly slow. There's a pretty long animation to do that, and so we want to avoid grabbing ledges as much as possible.
Yeah, and here's the most important trick of the game. Nail
Hardest
it.
boss in the game, right?
Nail it.
Got him.
Frame perfect trick. OP. So, it's time for the best part of the run, I guess. I have the lyrics open. I guess we're gonna do this, right?
Do it. Let's do it.
Let's do it. The song is different. I can't do this. Yeah, unfortunately, the best two musics in the whole game are removed due to copyright, I assume. So, unfortunately, we do not have a whole new world with you. I could try, but it's not. It doesn't feel the same.
A whole new world is gone. F's in the chat for a whole new world.
Yeah. And this auto-scroller is actually even harder on GBA because it's the same layout, but the screen resolution, it sucks. So, while I try to grab all the red gems, and if we have any other donation, please have them over because I don't want to stay silent for this shameful music.
Absolutely. We can always hope that it's still in our hearts. Anyway, I'd like to remind everybody that at the end of every day, we are going to be doing a crowd control run, and tonight's crowd control run is going to be the run that's coming up after this. It is going to be The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, ran by Sakura Tsubasa. This is going to be going on as a run that every $1 you donate during the crowd control run itself, you will be awarded 100 coins, and you can use those to manipulate certain things during the game itself, which is going to be good fun. So look forward to that.
If you have another one, keep him over while we load up the last stage, I guess.
Certainly, then I'll remind everybody that we are ESA Corona Relief in aid of the Save the Children Coronavirus Emergency Appeal. Save the Children makes sure children are healthy in places where confirmed cases are already high. They are providing protective equipment, medical supplies, and training for local health workers. They are working with local health authorities to set up hospitals to treat and isolate patients with coronavirus, and we thank you all for your support during this event.
Yeah, please donate. And here we are on the last stage. We took their damage boost that actually zips us through these platform things. So
Yeah, there's a lot of little tech things happening in these last couple levels. You'll see that zip through the damage boost, which is really pretty free. Some throwing of apples at enemies to either stun them or like that, or to knock them down.
like that one that's actually behind that pillar, so you don't see it coming.
Yeah, this is the GBA stage. This one looks brutal.
Yeah. So here was trying to optimize this one a little bit earlier today. There's nothing that else we can do because those platforms are just up and down. The height are not enough, and you either slow down by swinging or just hanging on the platform. So yeah, I hit the Yago, but
Hey.
remember, we don't have RNG manip on this version, sadly.
In the SNES version of the game, you hit Iago there, and that sets or resets rather the RNG values. I don't know all the odds and ends of how it works, but essentially it helps give you a good Jafar pattern at the very end of the game.
Yeah. So pretty much now, I want in the chat bless RNG because that's what I need. But the good thing is that with the death that I took earlier today, I will be able to get a refill somehow.
Hey, that's perfect timing actually for the health refill here.
Yeah. So yeah, bless RNG in the chat.
Yeah, because we weren't able to manipulate the RNG, it is going to be random if he gives us the good or the bad pattern, just fast or slow, essentially. Let's see what we get.
Feels bad, man.
So essentially, that just adds, he has to do this lightning attack and a whole other animation there. Yeah, here we go. The pop birds are what we want to see.
Yeah. The good RNG is that one. The damage boost I took is not necessary, it's just safety. Because taking the damage in the lightning actually gives you more height, so you actually hit the correct height to hit Jafar from above. But it's not mandatory, you can do it without the damage boost. And the snake.
Final battle with Cobra Kai? No. Cobra Jafar.
Yeah.
And we can just throw all these apples. We don't need them.
Yeah.
We don't need these things anymore.
Fortunately, in this version, there are less lag, but there is lag still. So 8 hits, and we're Gucci. 4.
Yeah, the SNES version can get really laggy here.
Okay.
That's okay. That's okay.
And also that part is RNG, and I don't like this.
Oh no.
I
There you go.
and I think I'm on the 6th hit, 7th, and I'm gonna take this super slow. And time. Woof!
GG. You got a little scary there, but GG.
Yeah. It messed it up because I didn't get enough height on with the egg, so whew, that was something. But still, underestimate. That's all that matters.
Yeah, great run. Great run. Fell down the one pit, no big deal, and then clutched out the snake fight at the very end. Very nice.
Yeah, I'm happy with this, considering the death. So, and I mean, I hope everyone had a great time because we're gonna listen the Holy Word mixtape again. If so, while we wait for that wonderful moment, is there any other donation?
I'd like to remind people that if you are enjoying this run, after the event is finished as a VOD, you can still support Save the Children by donating through our Tiltify campaign using the link below. Any and all support is appreciated. Thank you all very much.
Yeah, I mean, please keep the donations. Of course, the event helps, but any type of these marathon events, like we're doing this for a good cause, and it's not just for this moment. If you cannot do it today, next week you can always reach Save the Children and help them over.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I'm not sure if everyone's hearing, but I have my pupper barking.
The pupper in the back.
Oh yeah. So I'm trying to.
So spoilers. We get the princess.
Yeah, spoilers. We lied to the princess.
We lied. That's right.
And now we are setting our buddy Genie free. And I'm trying to mash so we can hear it over, because of course we are gonna hear this Genie and the Holy Words music back again. So again, thank you everyone for tuning in. Of course, please keep watching the SA Marathon. The crowd control will be hype for sure.
Definitely.
Unfortunately for the GBA version, we do not have a much information, or I forgot the word actually in English, but resources. That's the word. English is hard. But basically, if you go to the SNES version and learn the SNES version where we have good resource, basically everything translates to the GBA version. It's just a matter of learning and optimizing the extra stages and the jam route. That's the only thing missing, because we had a runner that got the sub 20. That's the goal. Unfortunately, extra things with him in other games had his time removed, but sub 20 is pretty possible. The record stands of 2020 something. Mine is 2038, if I recall. No, 2037. I got a PB earlier this week, which was not fun because it was bad RNG on Jafar, and with the death included. But this
PB is PB.
Of course. This is a game that's short. I mean, hard to master, hard to optimize, but short for anyone that's want to start speedrunning. You don't need to mash the cape. You can get a good time without cape mashing. So
Absolutely.
We pretty much encourage and want runners to come in, especially the SNES version that in the recent years we got a max influx of new runners that got the sub 17, which is pretty hype, because when I got my sub 17 we were only about 15 runners with that, and now we're about 20 runners with sub 17 in SNES, which is impressive and makes up for the competition.
Yeah, there's really a great community around this game. I started running it maybe 6 months ago or so, maybe a little longer, and the help in the Discord is awesome. So really would encourage you, if you like this run, hop into the Discord, hit either of us up if you like, and we would be happy to help you out. It's a great game. It's a great speed game.
Indeed. So, okay, now we are on another magic carpet ride with, sadly, not the correct song. So, but I think that's it. That's GBA SNES. Oh, Jeep. Mix it up. As GBA Disney's Aladdin for y'all. I actually, not gonna lie, I was actually hoping to play GBA. That has never been in a marathon before. We had in other marathons SNES, so I'm pretty happy. Even though the music is not the good one, I'm actually happy this happened. So thank you all for donating for the GBA. And yes, I think for me that's all. Keep watching the marathon. The crowd control will be hype.
Definitely. Hey, thanks for the run, and stay tuned.